Loudest Little Acorn. In the heart of the great oak forest lived a very small acorn with a very big voice. His name was Rusty. While the other acorns liked to sway gently in the breeze, Rusty liked to shout. "Hello, leaves," he would yell at the top of his lungs. "Hello, sky." Rusty was so loud that the squirrels would cover their ears and the flowers would tremble. One sunny afternoon, Rusty spotted a tiny beetle crawling slowly along a twig. "Hurry up, Mr. Beetle," Rusty bellowed. The poor beetle was so startled that he flipped right onto his back. Rusty didn't mean to be scary. He just had so much noise inside him that it simply had to come out. He didn't know any other way to be. High above Rusty, tucked into a cozy hollow, lived a little owl named Hush. Hush loved the soft sounds of the forest. She loved the way the moss felt under her talons and the way the shadows danced as the sun began to set. Hush had been watching Rusty all day, and she thought it was time for the little acorn to learn a secret. Hush fluttered down and landed softly next to Rusty. "Hey there, birdie," Rusty screamed, nearly knocking himself off his branch. "Want to hear my loud song?" Hush didn't flinch. She just blinked her big, golden eyes and waited for the echoes to fade away. She looked at Rusty with a kind, patient smile. "Rusty," Hush whispered, her voice like the rustle of dry leaves. "You have a very strong voice. But did you know the forest has its own voice too? It is a very quiet voice, and it only speaks to those who know how to listen. If you are always shouting, you will miss all the best stories the woods have to tell." Rusty frowned. He had never thought about listening before. "But how do I do it?" he asked, trying to use a smaller voice, though it still came out quite barky. He tried to stay still, but his clay boots wiggled and his cap slipped. Being quiet felt like trying to hold a giant balloon under the water. "Close your eyes," Hush instructed gently. "Take a deep breath of the pine-scented air. Don't try to make a sound. Just let the forest come to you." Rusty obeyed. He squeezed his eyes shut and took a big breath. At first, all he heard was the thumping of his own little acorn heart. Then, Rusty heard it. It was a long, low whoosh. "What's that?" he whispered, his eyes still closed. "That is the wind's lullaby," Hush replied. "It is traveling through the pine needles, telling them it's time to rest." Rusty smiled. He had heard the wind before, but he had never really listened to it. Hush listened too, her tufted ears twitching. "And listen there," she pointed toward the ground. From far below came a rhythmic chirp-chirp. "The crickets are tuning their fiddles," Hush explained. Rusty felt a strange, calm feeling spreading through his clay heart. The forest wasn't empty when it was quiet. It was full of music. The sun dipped below the horizon, and the forest turned a soft, dusky blue. Rusty didn't feel like shouting anymore. He felt sleepy and snug. "Thank you, Hush," he whispered so quietly that only she could hear. Together, the loud little acorn and the quiet little owl drifted off to sleep, listening to the beautiful, silent song of the night.